Got it.
If you're moving to New Zealand, you are going to have so many questions. But the one thing that people really, really want to know, and they struggle to find this information on the internet, is how much do things cost? So in this week's show, we're going to share with you everything that me and Brian and the family, our 2 kids, we spend within a month, all our monthly outgoings.
Yep.
So if you're sitting there trying to do your budgeting, get your calculator out, get a notepad and pen and get ready to take these down, because you're going to find out exactly how much it costs to live in New Zealand in 2023.
Let's go and find out.
Got it.
Welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. Everything you need to know about moving to and living in New Zealand.
There's a whole world here.
So nice to be with you again.
We call it Aotearoa around here, bro.
You'll be right.
We are your hosts, Liz and Brian.
Amazing New Zealand in the southern seas.
See, that's where I belong. That's home.
Hello and welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we have got a real special show for you. Today we're going to be opening up and telling you exactly how much we spend, our family of 4 spend, living in New Zealand on a monthly basis. Because I'll tell you what, not everyone out there, Bri, is willing to put it on the line like this, are they? And
Yeah, but this day and age, when you go for like a mortgage and stuff, because lending's a bit tight and house prices aren't going up as sharply as what they used to, then you have to literally do it down to a cup of coffee these days, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just like, that doesn't matter. That's only $4. That's only $5, but they all add up at the end of the month, and before you know it, you've paid $200 for coffees. Yeah.
So we know for a fact, who doesn't? I mean, anyone who says, oh, no, I'm not interested in you talking about your money. Don't tell lies. You want to know everything about how much it's going to cost you when you move to New Zealand. And why wouldn't you? But for some reason, people won't let you know. They don't open up and tell you the truth.
No, because people are a bit funny, aren't they, when it comes to money? It's like, well, how much do you earn? Oh, well, And
in New Zealand, they are, yeah. In New Zealand, it's not talked about.
Well, it seems to be like most places, don't they? They don't.
I don't know. In England, they don't mind telling you how much they're making, do they?
Well, it depends how much you're on, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If you've got something to brag, then there you'll be bragging about it. But in New Zealand, just to let you know that people don't talk about how much they're on, and it's frowned upon to talk about money.
Yeah, and they don't really. Yeah, it's also frowned upon, but yes, well.
Well, do you know why I say frowned upon, Brian?
Yep.
Do you know why I say frowned upon? Because someone commented on the video that we made with Miley and Brian.
Yep.
Is Kiwi, and they said, I was impressed with this interview until you went and asked the nurse how much she was making. What's that got to do with you? And I thought, okay, well, there you go then. That says it all.
But it's crazy.
Some people don't like it.
But it's crazy because like nurses are in a union and they're on a set wage, aren't they, for a standard nurse? Then they get standard pay. And, unless you specialise in something, then you might get more for doing those bits and bobs. But if you're just a registered nurse, you will get a set amount, and you can go on there anywhere. You can just Google it and see how much a nurse is getting. So I don't think what you were asking was that bad.
No, me neither, Bri.
Yeah.
So we're here today to share our monthly outgoings with you. Now, before I start, I've just got to say, you need to take into account, we will give you an idea of how much rent is and things like that here in New Plymouth. But just go and Google rent. We're not going to tell you how much to allow for rent because it's different all over the country.
Yeah, it depends where you're living. Like if you're living in Auckland, then go on to Trade Me, which is trademe.co.nz, and have a look for what houses are going for rentals and things like that. That's how easy it is. It'll take you all of about 10 minutes to figure out, in that area, it's a little bit more expensive than that area. So we're just giving you what we know of a couple of people in our community of how much that they're paying in rent each week. Yeah,
talking about our community, if you're new here, which I doubt you are, I bet you've listened to quite a few others, but if you are new here, we are, Liz and Brian, we're husband and wife, and we talk all about moving to New Zealand, and we help people connect when they move to New Zealand. So we built a community of people that are all in the same boat, that have all become close and friends, and they all help each other with their questions and their answers.
Yeah.
So we've got people in the community who have already moved to New Zealand, and they're helping the ones that are, further along down the line.
Journey. So it's a journey from A to B, which is obviously A is where you live, and B is New Zealand. So it's that we're with you all the way, which is great, isn't it? And like you say, people have completed that journey, and they've got all this great advice, up to date advice as well. And even the advice that we still give, which is from 14 years ago, is still very relevant, because that's about feelings and what's happening.
Oh, I love talking about
stuff like that.
That's my favourite part. That is honestly my favourite part about that community.
Yeah.
Is within that community, it's a safe place to just open up and just say things. I don't know, like you'll get people saying, I've got to go and tell my mum today that we're leaving, or
exactly.
I'm giving my notice in today. And it's such a wonderful space just to be able to just release those sorts of emotions and talk about things like that. Because when you are moving to New Zealand, or even if you're thinking about moving to New Zealand, we've said this before, no one wants to know. They don't want to talk about it, because that means that it's going to happen and the family are going to leave them, and it's just and
it's beyond a lot of people's scope. That they can't comprehend. They're staying in the job, you're leaving, and it's like, I can't leave this job, but you are leaving, you're going to New Zealand. And so that's the thing. They're not really overly interested in, other than, well, I don't know why you're doing that when you've got a good job here.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about the community at the end of the podcast, because I just want to jump on in now and we'll tell you how you can become a member of that community. But we're going to jump on in and we're going to talk about the cost of living in New Zealand going forward in 2023.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start off with our biggest expense. What do you think it is?
Wine.
Well, yeah, obviously. But,
Wine and beer.
Our biggest expense, and do you know what? I can't believe this, because it's gone up $200 a week in the last 6 months, I'm going to say. Our biggest expense is food, groceries in New Zealand. Now, first of all, what you need to know, again, if you don't know us, we have got 2 teenagers. In fact, we've got a young adult and a 21-year-old. Oh, yeah. No, because she's still 18, so she's classed as a teenager. We've got a 21-year-old son and an 18-year-old daughter, and they both still live with us. So just take into account that. So there's me and Brian and Sunny and Tess, and you can count them as adults. So this is going for 4 adults, okay? So just you will know how much your family eats.
Yeah, because if you had 2 little kids, then it would be a little bit less. So you just,
The other thing you need to know about us as well is we are foodies. We love to cook. We're not the sort of people that will have a shepherd's pie and eat it for 3 days a week.
No.
I've got to be honest, we're not.
No.
We eat lots of lovely food. I love to cook. Brian loves to cook. And so, that is where our indulgence is.
Yeah,
is
and we
on
don't
food
have a
and
great
wine.
deal of leftovers really at the end of the meal, do we? Like, we tend to cook enough just for the meal. Occasionally, if there is, then they'll go in the fridge and we might have it for lunch or something.
Yeah.
But it's not like we throw tons of food away or anything like that.
No, we don't throw any food away. But I just want people to know that we, like last night we had a leg of lamb, sliced leg of lamb, gratin potatoes, broccoli spears, and mint sauce, and little pear Kool-Aid thing with it. That's what I'm saying. It's just, we do eat well.
Yeah.
So please don't be shocked when I tell you how much we spend.
Why did I only get a sandwich last night then? And you got all that nice stuff.
It's a fish finger sandwich. What do you want?
And a pie.
For a week, we spend... If you dream of moving to New Zealand, then you are going to love what I'm about to share with you. 12 years ago, when me and Bri emigrated to New Zealand, we were scouring the internet, trying to find any information that we could about what our life would be like when we got here. And basically all we had was YouTube. So we made this vow. We said, when we get to New Zealand, we're going to create something that we can share with others that answers those questions that you're so desperate to know about. Like, what is your life going to be like when you get here? And that's what I'm here to offer you today. We have created a 5-day free, absolutely free video guide that shows you what it's really like to live in New Zealand. This stuff is unique and it is fabulous. You are not going to find it anywhere else on the internet. And like I say, it's absolutely free. You'll be sent a video every day for 5 days, and you will know what it's like in New Zealand. So head over to the website. It's www.nzahead/free. One more time, that's www.nzahead/free. You are going to love it. For a week, we spend $700 a week on groceries.
That's everything. That's just it is everything. That includes like even down to firelighters and cleaning products and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely
it's
everything.
It's not just
dog food.
Yeah, there's dog food, and that's not cheap these days.
No, it's not cheap because she's on a special diet. So
yeah, grain free.
Yeah, grain free. So we used to spend, before we went traveling 6 months ago, we were spending around between 500 and 600.
Yeah.
And since we've come back, it's gone up. I'm going to say it's gone up $150 a week, our shopping. The other thing you need to take into account as well is it's coming up to Christmas at the moment when we're recording this. So we are buying extra things like, just boxes of chocolates.
And we've just got back from traveling as well. So yes, because you haven't got and literally we cleared the cupboards out, didn't we? So we had to start from scratch again. So it's probably a little bit biased, probably not quite that
it
700.
Is, Brian. Let's just say
that's how much
is.
we've spent, but it's like because you've got to buy all the staples again, haven't you? Like, or like the salts, the peppers, the salt, the sugars and all those sort of things.
I'm going to say if we didn't have Sonny and Tess and it was just me, you, and they were smaller and they could be, they would eat, they were eating things like pasta and pesto and, cottage pie, like I just said earlier. I reckon we could probably do it on 500, but I cannot see a way. No. The way we eat, I can't see a way of doing it cheaper than that.
But I mean, even down to things like we have to eat gluten-free spaghetti because I'm gluten-free, and it's more expensive. So
maybe that's why our bills come.
I know, yeah, but just look at that little sliced loaf that we buy, which is a gluten-free loaf, and it's like $9, isn't it?
10.
Well, yeah, right, $10.
Yeah.
Where a normal loaf is around about $3 or $4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's 3 times the price for one thing.
Yeah.
So some things that are more expensive, and gluten-free spaghetti is about $2 more expensive. It's just that all adds up, doesn't it? Because you buy 2, and you need to for some unknown reason you have to use a box and a half because it's not the full size spaghetti as what you get in the packets.
What, for 4 people?
Yeah, you have to use a box and a half, don't you? And it's just like
yeah. So that gives you an idea, doesn't it? It was hard for me to tell you that, I've got to admit, because I'm a bit embarrassed, to be honest, because I know that is an awful lot of money.
But it does. $100 a day on food seems a lot.
Yeah.
But then
watch
suppose,
this space, because we are trying to get it down, aren't we?
And we will get it down. We will get it down to a degree, won't we?
But I don't think it will come down. Like I said, I can't see. I want to be realistic, and I want people to know what to expect.
That's why we're saying, because you could turn around and go, 500 a week, and it's like, well, no, actually, because I went to Pack and Save the other day and spent $520, and it's just like,
You only had 3-4 meals, didn't you?
And that's it. And so that's about right then, isn't it? Yeah.
What the other thing I was going to say to you as well? Yeah, so just, again, I just want to stress this point. We drink wine, so that includes wine. You might not drink, which is going to save you $40, $50 a week, whatever it's going to be.
Maybe more, yeah.
Yeah, because wine isn't. Yeah. But wine's about $15.
We go through,
but
at the moment we buy about 4 bottles a week. That's it. And,
don't say that, Brian. Just say that lasts us a month. Don't want to sound like alkies.
At least a night, won't it?
Yeah, and again, all the cleaning products and washing powder, dog food, that's all included in that total. All right, so that gives you an idea.
And including candles as well, because you do like your candles.
Oh yeah, we do like candles every night.
They're $8 a box, aren't they?
They've gone up, haven't they?
Yeah, everything's gone up.
Why?
Because fuel's gone up, so cartage and carrots they're going up as well, so I can see at night. Yeah, just cartage I was going to say, but
do you know what? Just off topic.
Around.
My mum's in England at the moment. She's over there visiting my brother, and she phoned up. I thought she was going to say, "Oh, it's so nice to see Jamie," or I'm having such a lovely time. She phoned me up and she went, "You'll never guess what." And I said, "Go on, what?" And she went, "Carrots." 14p, 14p a pound. I was like, oh, really? And how is it to see Jamie? Are you having a nice time? 14p though, Brian.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think 14p a pound, even if you doubled it sorry, 20. I'm just trying to think. Give you.
That's 30 cents.
No, I'm not. That's not the way I'm going, Liz. I'm going. So I'm looking at 56 plus another little bit more. So it's 60. $1.20 a kilo.
Right.
So how much are carrots here in New Zealand?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably, I don't know. Probably $1.99 a kilo.
Well,
Something
you've got
like
me
that.
thinking now, Bri. You better
Yeah,
go down
see,
to the
there you go.
countdown and get down there and
Because
have
it's
a look.
2.2 pence to a kilo. So, you double the, and then, it's,
Yeah.
store, say even it's a
Sometimes
2.5.
it seems cheaper until, like you say, like
Yeah,
you do
you start
that.
adding it all up. I mean, it's the crafty in the UK. They've gone back to pounds because they had to move everything to.
They probably haven't. That's
yeah,
probably
but
just my mum.
It looks cheaper though, doesn't it? 14, but then it's a pound because they can do that because they're not in the EU anymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, it used to have to be. It would have had to be like
Do you know this for a fact, or are you just making it up?
letting you know. We've got 400 grams.
Right, moving on. So our internet, we pay $160 a month in internet. Actually,
Yes.
I should have said before we start, obviously, this is all in New Zealand dollars.
New Zealand
Hopefully
dollars,
you realise
yeah.
that. This is
Yep.
New Zealand dollars. So internet, $160 a month. Break that down for me, Brian.
Well, as into
Well, what am I getting for that?
Well, because we live in the middle of nowhere, so we have to pay a little bit more money for internet. But realistically, we pay $160, and that includes this is a rural broadband, so it's a wireless internet, as in it's not wired or fiber optics. Ours is broadcast from the Green School, and we get unlimited data for that as well.
Right.
So it's unlimited, and the speeds are around about 130 megabits. Sorry, 130 megabits up a second and 130 megabits down a second.
Right.
Which is pretty. It's excellent, to be honest, but it's a little bit pricey. It's more pricey than what most people will be paying in the UK and probably in America as well. Yeah.
Right. So 160 a month, right?
Yeah, but if you looked at Elon Musk's Starlink, there's a $2,000 setup for that, and then it's $160 a month.
So why am I going to do that? That's
Well, I'm not saying no, but it gives you an idea that Starlink, which is to give cheap internet to the whole world, is $160 New Zealand.
and the 2,000 join-up fee.
Yeah, but once you've got the
Mind you,
equipment,
how
you've
cool
got the
would that be,
equipment.
Bri?
Oh, I know.
Just looking up at the stars, knowing that you were being zapped.
Zapped by Elon.
Right, moving on to our mobile phones. So we pay for our mobile phones, and Brian is going to elaborate on this.
Yes, because this is for 4 adult mobile phones. I know I say adult because it's not kids just using a little bit here and there. I mean, they're pretty data hungry, the kids. So that is how much did we say it was?
200. I haven't yet.
I know.
So we pay $250 a month.
A month. Yep.
Are we paying for this?
No, Sunny gives us $82 a month, and Tessa gives us $32 a month. So
where's the rest going then? What's that on?
well, because my business, it was better to get a business plan, which I think the base plan for me unlimited is around about $90 a month, and then they put you on it, which is $35 a month, and it's $35 each phone that you put on that. So you add it, you add the other ones up, and it comes around about that $250. And I think there might actually be some insurance or a phone that's getting paid with that as well.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
Who?
it'd be my iPhone 13.
Oh, right.
There's be a year left to play on it or something like that.
Right.
So
$250 a month.
but it's about $250 a month. Yes, yeah, because like I say, 90, and then you add another whatever it is, the extras on there, and because for the unlimited plans, it's $35 each. That's another 105, isn't it? So plus the 90, yeah. But I don't know whether 250. The trouble is the bills are so confusing. So you just need to work out these things because it says, but this is the breakdown. It just does not make sense.
Doesn't it?
No. Yep.
So anyway, well, that's how much we're paying is $250 a month.
Yep.
Okay, our next biggest, apart from food, our next biggest outgoing is petrol, gas, as they say in America.
Yep. Or diesel, whatever it is you're
Yeah.
driving.
And we've worked it out, we're paying $600 a month,
Yep.
not a week, $600 a month in fuel.
Yes. And we live rurally again. So we are doing around about between 500 and 600 kilometers a week. So we're 30k from the
How
town.
are we doing 600 kilometres?
Because you go into town
How
and
many
back.
miles is that?
I mean,
300 miles?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
You reckon we do 300 miles a week?
Well, we use a tank of fuel, and the car will do 600 kilometres.
That's
The
scary,
petrol one
isn't
will.
it? Because it's 15 kilometres one way into town, isn't it?
Well, it's about 20 kilometres so
is
into
it?
town. Where we are, yeah.
We don't
At
go
least.
out much though, Bright. It's not like we're out,
Yeah, but then
cruising around.
we tend to go to the beach for walks and stuff
Yeah,
like
true.
that, and it all starts to add up. That's what I'm saying. No, we don't do that much, and it's like, well, the speedo doesn't tell lies, does it?
No.
And that's roughly what we're doing. I mean, some weeks, yes, if because we work from home, so if you are going to work, then yeah, you'll be going and spending fuel and stuff like that, or picking kids up from school or whatever you're doing. So it's just to let you know how many Ks or miles do you think you're going to be doing? That's it, really.
Yeah.
But we've got two cars. We've got a Peugeot with a 1.6 injection engine, and we've got a Skoda with a 2-litre turbo diesel, a diesel engine, and that thing for the same amount of fuel will do around about 900 kilometers. But with diesel, every 1,000 k you do, you spend it costs you $40 for the road user, as they call it, which is it's like a tax because on diesel that you have to pay because they get so much better economy. And diesel is cheaper than petrol here in New Zealand. It's so the farmers can, run cheaper. But then if you're using a road vehicle, you have to pay road user, RUC it's called, road user charge.
Right.
So just be aware of that. I mean, obviously electric is the way to go forward, but depending on how much money you've got when you come into New Zealand, if you want to be, spending $70,000 for an electric car upwards, there is a rebate in New Zealand if you buy an electric vehicle. I think it's under $70,000 or under $80,000. You'd have to just check online because they change it. I think you get an $8,000 rebate off the car. But,
Plus it's good, isn't it, Brian? Because you're driving around knowing you're saving the planet. So that's always good.
Yeah, because New Zealand's not bad, even though 15 to 25% of your electric car is coal powered, which is not great for the environment.
Don't be a downer.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Don't be a downer.
Most New Zealand's,
You're just jealous because you want an electric car.
but most of New Zealand's power is powered from green, which is geothermal or it's hydro. But we do have a coal and gas power station for at times when it's a little bit not quite great for doing hydro and stuff like that. So, they have to boost and get the power from 15 to 25% with Huntley Power Station.
Right.
So if you're plugging into that, your Tesla's not so green. Anyway, that's just my little rant because I can't afford a battery car.
We're spending it all on food, that's why.
But
Just think,
people-
right, if we didn't eat, we could afford an electric car.
Yeah, but the thing is the way you look at it, if you're spending $600 a month, you just think, all right, if you can get that down to, say, it's $100 for using a hybrid, or if it's, it's going to cost me $100 a month to charge my car with electricity, then you'd be like, well, actually, I can get a car over 10 years, with a 50,000 loan on it or whatever. I'm just saying it's possible that it's almost like a payoff. It's getting to that point where it's like, it's very thinkable, and that's
Tempting, yeah.
and that's what I was saying. And within 3 years, I can see us getting an electric vehicle. So it would be nice.
Right, so moving on to our insurances that we pay for. Every month, we pay 560 New Zealand dollars a month in insurance.
Yep.
That includes house insurance and contents,
Yes.
life insurance for if one of us dies.
And that's just to cover the mortgage.
Yeah, just to cover
just
the
for mortgage
mortgage.
purposes.
So
Yep.
it's nothing flash
It's
and
nothing
big,
flash. No.
is it? What other insurance have we got?
Well,
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Car insurance?
Well, the car insurance, that's all paid through the business. But again, normally for a car in New Zealand, it's cheaper to insure it than what it would be in America or the UK. We say those two countries because that's where most of the people coming over are from. I wouldn't have a clue how much it costs in South Africa and any other country to insure a car. But the little trip that we did in the summer with the Peugeot 205, the vintage car, that cost me if I was to insure it, I used to pay monthly, but that was around about £450 for a year. I mean it was a GTI, so you pay a little bit more because it's a little bit faster than a regular car. But if I was if I was insuring that in New Zealand, it would probably be about $350. So it would be less than half price to insure it in New Zealand. And like I say, my son is driving a 1.4 TSI, which stands for turbostratic ferric injection. So it's a turbocharged car. It's a 1.4 litre petrol, 168 horsepower. And that is costing $560. And he is 21 years old. Tessa is driving a 2001 Mini One with a 1.6 petrol engine, a 6-speed double clutch gearbox. And that is costing around about $480, and she has only just turned 18. So it just gives you an idea of
Is
the
that per
difference
year?
Per year.
Oh, that's cheap, isn't it?
Oh, in England, it would be.
You wouldn't be able to afford it.
They wouldn't be allowed to drive those cars. They would have to have, I don't know, a 1,000-litre engine. If that's not 1,000-litre, a 1-litre engine, 1,000 cc.
Yeah.
And it would just have no bells and whistles, no turbocharger, no sports or anything. And they've both got sporty little cars, and I think amazingly cheap.
So just to let you know, we haven't got any health insurance, we haven't got any dental insurance, and we haven't got any pet insurance.
Yep.
Okay, so that 560, like I say, just covers our basic
Just the
life
basics.
insurance, house insurance, car insurance.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Right.
So,
okay.
I mean, there's different, because talking about those insurances like health insurance, I mean, health is covered. It's free healthcare in New Zealand. You pay ACC each week for the company that it's taken at source. They will take your ACC, which is accident compensation scheme. I can't remember the actual full name of it. I should do, but
You say it's free healthcare though, but you have
Yes.
to pay to go to the doctors.
yes, but what I'm saying is if you injure yourself, break a
Yeah.
leg or something like that, ACC will cover you
Yeah.
for that. All the hospitalization, everything else, all the stuff in hospital, that's all covered by ACC. And not only that, you will get up to 80% of your wage paid as well from ACC until you start work again.
If you have an accident or
If you have an accident,
Yeah.
that's only if you have an accident. If you suddenly fall ill, then that's not an accident. So you should be looked after by the health system here. But there are insurances available. So you look into it if that's if you want to look into it.
Yeah.
We don't know the price because again we've never had it. I never had the urge because we're pretty, hopefully, touch wood, pretty healthy and everything else.
We've got our nurses podcast, haven't we? Or was that a private podcast that we did for the group?
Do you know what? I can't remember. I think
No.
I think it has gone out on. No, I think it has.
I'm pretty sure we
think
put
did.
it out. Yeah, we do like a weekly private podcast just for members only. But I'm pretty sure that one went out. So if you do want to know about the healthcare system, that was a really, really informative podcast.
Yeah, it was great.
Is it on NZ Ahead or is it?
NZ Ahead,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's on NZ Ahead. So yeah, just go and check that out.
Just check I can't remember what episode number it was off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's
but
just being a nurse in
the
New
20s,
Zealand,
I think it
it's
was.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to our utilities. So this is our electricity and our gas. We pay $400 a month.
Yeah. So our house it's a 4-bedroom house, and it's around about 200 square meters of living area, and 2 bathrooms, and 4 bedrooms, 2 living areas, garage, kitchen, all that sort of stuff, isn't it? So, and utility and stuff like that. So when it's raining a lot, we tend to use a washing machine, tumble dryer.
No, we've been really good now.
But we have, since we've come back,
we've made a new rule.
Yes,
New us.
yes,
Not
exactly.
using a tumble, are we, Brian?
Try not to use. I mean, even though it's a heat pump tumble dryer, so it's very efficient. You put $1 in, you get $4 or $5 of energy back out of it. So it's very good, even if it is coal powered.
Sing right every time you put that tumble on. They're up there in Huntley, shoveling it in.
It's stoking the boilers.
There goes
Thinking
another tree.
Brian's tumble's back on. And he's charging that electric car. Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, $400 a month, which
yep.
I think, to be honest, is a bit pricey. I'm not very happy with that. I
Yeah.
want it to be down.
So that includes our heating as well.
Yeah, we've got central heating.
Yeah, we go through this time of year. It's the summer because it's December, coming into January. We'll go through a bottle of gas once every probably 6 weeks, and that's having showers every day. And that does tend to heats the towel rails in the bathroom to dry the towels, so we're not washing as many towels. And we go through a bottle in 6 weeks, and a bottle is $130 at the moment, and that's a 45 kilogram bottle of LPG. And that will do our radiators and stuff in the winter as well to heat the house, and we'll probably it'll double up to two bottles in the winter.
So what will it go up to in the winter with heating on?
We'll add at least another 150 to that. So
Right. But like you say, we've got underfloor heating, we've got radiators all over the house. This house is the warmest house in New Zealand. So that's, but it's true. You've over-engineered it there, didn't you, with your heating?
Yeah.
So we are paying, we're paying quite a lot for our heating.
Well, a lot of people don't tend to have it. If you live in Auckland, you don't tend to have
and also
heating
we've got a hot
systems like
tub.
us. Yeah, we have a hot tub as well.
We've got an outside hot tub. So
yeah, and that does. I've got to change that over to a heat pump.
Yeah.
To heat that up. It's just taking the plunge and doing it, literally.
So again, I'm trying to get that down, but that's how much we're paying at the moment.
Yep.
And the last thing is rates on our property, which comes in at $160 a month.
Yep.
On our property.
That's the council tax or rates, whatever you want to call it.
And you pay those every quarter.
Yep. You can pay it in one hit, or you can pay it monthly as well, but we like to pay quarterly.
We just pay quarterly, just have it on a direct debit and it comes out.
Yep.
So on top of that, that gives you all the outgoings. And then on top of that, you're going to have your property, obviously where you're going to rent or buy or whatever you're going to do.
Yep. So if you initially come into New Zealand, you more than likely won't be a resident, so you wouldn't be allowed to buy a property until you get your residency. So realistically, you're going to be renting. Even if it's for 2 months or 3 months, you might turn up in New Zealand with residency, but you just have to might work a certain amount of time, like 90 days or something in the trade or whatever it is that you've come over as. But it's kind of rare these days. It was like that 14 years ago, wasn't it? We came over full residency, just had to do 90 days and get the thing, so we could have bought a house instantly.
So we just asked a couple of people in the community that live in New Plymouth. I didn't ask the Auckland people, but New Plymouth, we've got someone renting a house in the centre of New Plymouth. They've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and they're paying $670 a week for theirs. And then we've got someone else who is right on the seafront, beautiful views, in a village just down the road from us. Like I say, beachfront, and they are paying around about $900 a week. So it just gives you an idea of how much things are. But like I say, if you're going to go to Auckland or Wellington, Christchurch, Dunedin, just go on Trade Me, like Brian said. Google, houses to rent.
What type of house you want?
Give you an idea. Yeah.
Depending if you've got children or whatever. And obviously, if you're coming over with your job, you're going to know how much you're going to be getting paid. So you can start to budget. We're not saying, we're not. Would you say we're frugal? To a degree, we are, aren't we?
We're frugal on some things,
but we don't go out to restaurants.
No, we never go out to restaurants.
We don't eat out. We don't order food in.
No,
everything
we don't have takeaways.
Yeah, and everything we make is from scratch. We don't buy any pre-made dinners or anything like that, do we? There's nothing. It's everything is not so much a whole food, but it is.
Well,
really.
it is a whole food, yeah. We should have just pointed that out. We probably eat out 3 times a year. And that's it. On special occasions. We go out for coffee. You've heard us talking about going out for coffee, but we very rarely go out for breakfast.
We have an app. We use a Trail Wallet app, which whenever we pay anything, and we have been doing that since we came back because we did it for the last 6 months, and we did it 5 years ago when we were traveling, didn't we? So you know what your budget is. It's great to do that because, if you're going for a mortgage, you just pop that and go, there you go. That's exactly what I've been spending.
So that's called Trail Wallet. There's loads of apps like that you can get, but that's just the one we always use when we travel. So like Bryce said, we just tended to keep using it. So.
Yeah, and even if when you're coming over and you're thinking about money, we'll leave a link in the description in the notes, but it takes you to the Wise Card app, Wise, W-I-S-E, Wise Card app. And that's got a similar thing on it as well. It lets you know. So if it knows wherever you shop, whether you're in buying fuel, whether you're in the supermarket, and it kind of budgets it all for you, saying, oh, you've spent this much on this. Or there might be the odd miscellaneous thing, but majority of the time it knows.
It's a brilliant card.
It's a really good card. And not only that, it's great for when you first come to New Zealand because you can stick your, say you're in US dollars or UK pounds. You just put it into your your wallet in the actual Wise app, and then you can transfer it as and when you want to the NZ currency.
Yeah.
And use it here, and it's like a Visa. You can just use it as a Visa.
Actually, I was just looking on the chat earlier. I was on the money. We've got all different sections in our community chat, or under all different headings, and I was looking under income, and they were talking about how they were transferring money, like big lumps of big sum. What's the word? Big lump sums of money from the US to New Zealand, and they were using their Wise cards. So.
Yeah, and you get very good rates, better than what the bank will ever give you. I mean, you might want to use a Forex or currency exchange if it's big money, but if it's $10,000 or $15,000, by the time you've messed about with the Forex agencies, I think I transferred when we sold the car. I think I transferred £20,000, and I think it cost me $80 NZ dollars for the conversion, for the actual the transfer into New Zealand money, and obviously whatever the exchange rate is on the day. It's very good rates.
We'll leave a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, by the way. If you click it, then we get a small amount, just to disclose that, because we use it and we like to promote them. So, but yeah, that link will be in the description. So I just want I hope that this has shed some light, because what we don't want is you coming over here and thinking, oh my God, why did no one say that? Because it's not cheap to live here, is it, Brian?
No, it's not. It's New Zealand.
Not cheap.
It's you come in here for the lifestyle, different way of life, and there's certain things that cost you more, but so many people say to us at the end of the week, like we've got Ryan, who's lived in New Zealand for 7 years now, hasn't he? And he's an American, and he lives in Auckland. And he just says, the wages aren't as much, but by the time I take my expenses out, I am left with the same money. Because don't forget, most things, like a lot of things in New Zealand, especially apart from the big cities, is you go somewhere, it's free. Everything is free, isn't it? Like, you go to the park, it's free. I mean, people say we've got Pukekura Park in New Plymouth here, and the Americans are going to go to that style of park with that atrium, the tree place in it. What's the name for a tree place?
Tree place.
Arbor. I can't. It's terrible.
Arboretum.
Yeah, an arboretum. That's it. It's your mind just goes blank. I was thinking of atrium firm, which is but anyway. They would say you'd be paying $30, a minimum of $30 to go somewhere like that, because it's a Victorian park. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Like, and just anywhere you go, there's lots of free parking everywhere, and it's these little hidden taxes that you're not going to have to pay in New Zealand. There's lots of free things to do at the weekends and stuff like that. Even like taking your bikes on the mountain bike trails, it's all free, and the parking's free, and it's just like, that's what it's like. The dock places. The Department of Conservation, when we say dock, it's just so many things that add up over time. And not only that, sometimes there's not as many things to spend your stuff on, we don't go shopping like we used to do in the UK. We just don't do it.
No, we don't. No.
So you will, and the other thing is about not keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different podcast.
I know, but what I'm saying, it saves you money, Les.
Yeah, I know.
It's just those type things, isn't it? Yeah.
But for this, I just wanted people to know what they can expect for their monthly outgoings.
Yes.
So that's what this podcast is all about. And just to let you know as well, just going back to the food, because I do feel guilty that we spend so much. But like I say, it's for adults, so,
Yeah, it's not
what
just
can
food,
you do?
but yeah.
Try not to feed them, but it didn't work.
Yep.
We eat meat, we eat fish. That's the other thing I forgot to say. Although Brian is gluten free, and like he said, things like that cost extra money. Meat's not cheap in New Zealand.
No, it's not, and you think
fish
it would
is not
be
flipping cheap
no,
anywhere.
cheap, and even dairy's not cheap.
No,
nothing is. There's nothing. It's not. There are more expensive places to buy food and stuff in the world, obviously, but it's not cheap. It's not one of the cheaper places.
I'll tell you what the cheapest thing you can have, Bri.
What's that?
Guess. What do we love having?
Water.
Shut up. Green lip mussels. Now
they're cheap.
Now they are cheap. If you want
$4.99 a kilo.
Yeah. If you want to make a nice cheap meal, get a kilo of green lip mussels, steam them, open them, chop some chili, garlic, coriander, breadcrumbs, garlic butter, whatever you want on the top of them. Whack them on the garlic, whack them on the barbecue or under the grill. absolutely divine. You can have
It's
them with some
fantastic,
spaghetti
aren't they?
tossed in olive oil and just some fresh herbs. It is, and that is the cheapest meal ever. So
It is.
it's really great to know meals like you know, you've always got meals like that in the bank, haven't you? You know, when you're like, oh, should we just have a cheap night tonight? Or so that's a little tip for
And
you.
there's lots of Asian supermarkets here, so you can get all that good stuff.
So hopefully that has answered your question. Like we said earlier, there are other podcasts that you can go and listen to. You can go and listen to the Nurses podcast if you want to know about the healthcare system. You can go and listen to the podcast that I did with Ryan, where he talks all about the cost of living in New Zealand compared to the US. That's a really good one. And if you are really keen to get on over to New Zealand and you want to be surrounded by like-minded people who will support and help you in your move, as well as me and Brian, we're there as well in the community, then make sure that you sign up for our free 5-day video guide that we offer. This is 5 days worth of free videos telling you each day some small aspect about New Zealand that you would never ever have known about. It's a lovely little guide. Like I say, it's absolutely free, and we put a lot of our effort into making that. So we're really proud of it.
Yeah, that's great.
And then when you get to day 5 of that guide, you are given the option of joining our community. So you'll be sent to a different page that tells you all about the community, what the membership includes. Just go and see that for yourself and you'll find out. Like I say, if you're moving to New Zealand and you just want more support and more answers, and don't get me wrong, there's places out there that you can go on the internet, like free Facebook groups and stuff.
There is, but it's not quite like this. I mean, this
is a little bit special.
I know
isn't
it's
it?
like our community, but there's just amazing people in there, and you never get fed up of like just seeing the questions and answers all the time that are going around, and you always look in, there's always, you know, so much interaction there with everybody else and everybody else helping each other out, or someone gets a bit of a knock and sets them back a bit, and everyone's, oh, come on, you know, it's going to be okay, and this, that, and the other. Just, have you tried this? Or phone the immigration people up and tell them this. Yeah. And it's that side of it's great.
Talking of immigration, we have also got immigration advisors within that community.
Yep.
So they've got their own channel and are there to answer questions on immigration, because we can't talk about immigration because we're not qualified. So, yep, they're all in there too, NZ Shores. So, like I say, you know, just saying, if you want to join us, then
head on over to www.nzahead.com/free. That's www.nzahead.com/free.
And take those free 5-day guides and get to day 5 and see what you think. Okay, so that's us.
Yep.
We've spilled the beans on how much we're spending.
How much
Hopefully,
beans cost.
Yep, and that gives you an idea. So it gives, you know, you can do a little bit more budgeting now.
Yes.
But until next time, spend your money. Save your money. Spend it all.
Spend it all.
Save your money and keep that dream alive of moving to New Zealand, because you will get here if you want to. We have so many people in the community that they start off and they're like, oh, I don't know if I've got I haven't got the right job, or I haven't got the right this and I haven't got the right that. And then it's been wonderful to watch a year later or so, or 5 months later, whatever, them going, I can't believe it, I've been picked. And then I can't believe it, I've got a job offer, you know, and they're just here, and it's just,
And how brilliant is it when someone in the community says, oh, we need this person. And like with Emil and Miley, and if there's an opening, I'll put a good word in for you.
Yeah.
And he got the job.
Yeah.
And he's moved from Holland.
Yeah.
And he's here, or the Netherlands.
Lovely,
he's here
isn't
now.
it?
It's just brilliant. I love things like that.
Yeah, me
Little
too.
success stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
So until next time, lovely people, like I say, keep your dream alive, and I'll speak to you next time.
Yep. So kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true. And we'll see you next time. See you now. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast this week. We have loved having you here with us.
If you loved this week's show, please share this with your friends. Send it to anybody you know that wants to think about moving to New Zealand, and get on over here yourself.
And tell them how brilliant it is as well. And also, if you haven't signed up for our free 5-day video guide showing you what life is like, really like, in New Zealand, then go over to the website and sign up. You are missing out. This is brilliant. Go over to www.nzahead.com/free and we will send you 5 days worth of videos about what life is like in New Zealand. You are going to love it. So one more time, that website that you need to sign up for the free 5-day guide is www.nzahead/free. So we're going to see you next week. Until then, have a great week and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye again. Bye.
Bye.